90 years of racing and the storied history of Santa Anita, and no rider has won more races than the man sitting next to me, Laffit Pincay Jr. As a matter of fact, 7 wins out of 9 races in one day. The all-time record for most wins for a winter spring meet. You look at the record book at Santa Anita, you're throughout it. You are at the center of it. What has Santa Anita meant to your career?
Oh, it meant a lot. You know, ever since I started riding in Panama, this is the track that I wanted to come. And when I went to Miami to sign a contract with Mr. Hooper, and the translator told me that I'll be riding for him in Chicago, New York, and California, I was so happy because I was going to be riding with the greatest rider at the time, Bill Shoemaker, and he became my idol. So just to know that I was going to be here in California, riding at Santa Anita and riding with Bill Shoemaker, that was a dream come true for me.
And now you join your contemporaries, the late Bill Shoemaker, Eddie Delahousse, as riders who have a race named after them. What was that like when you got the call they were going to name a race after you?
Yeah, I was surprised and very satisfied. I thought that was so special when they had their day for them, you know, Shoemaker and then Delahousse. I thought that was very special. And I thought that maybe someday I will get one. And I finally got it.
And when you look back at your career and you think of those contemporaries we just talked about, Shoemaker, Delahousse, there were so many more. Every great athlete has that other athlete who pushes them. Who was the one rider that helped you elevate your game and you knew you were in for a battle when you were up against them?
Well, there were few. You know, first was Shoemaker, and then was Cordero, and then was Sandy Harley, and then Pato Valenzuela. You know, they were so special jockey, and actually with Sandy Harley and Pat Valenzuela, I had to change my way of riding. To compete with those guys, I knew that I had to do something different because if I kept riding the way I rode, I wasn't going to be able to compete with them. They were so good, you know, and I changed my way. I learned from them, and I beat them. You know, every time when we started competing in a couple of jockey standing, I got to beating, and that was very satisfying for me.
When you look at the current crop of riders, the guys dominating the standards out there, the Ortiz brothers, Flavien Prat, John Velasquez still going, lots of names out there. Who amongst those riders really impresses you?
You know, they are, you know, you get John Velasquez that is well up in age and he's running in such a great form, and Prat and Rosario and the Ortiz brother. You know, those guys, they could have rode in any era. You hear a lot of people say, no, there's no jockey now. Those guys can ride. They could have ride in the past, they could have ride in the future. They're the very best, you know, and I admire him a lot.
I've watched you now and this part of your life where you are teaching other riders who come up and ask you for advice. What's that like for you being a mentor now?
It's nice, you know, it's very good. You know, I think I have been an example because I depended on the way I took care of myself. That's what throughout my career, I was very dedicated to my job. I love my job. I love to come every day and try to win a race. Even when I wasn't doing that good, because there were some tough times when I wasn't doing that good, I'll come with the hope that things change and I will start riding better and getting better horses. And I mean, that was me. I love it. I love to compete.
To a young rider who may not be fortunate enough to actually cross paths with you, what advice would you give to a jockey who's just starting their career?
Well, he has to be dedicated and he has to work hard and he has to learn how to love this business, you know, this job, because when I started, I just became a jockey because I wanted to do something to help my family have a job, you know. But I happened to start doing really good, and I learned how to love it. I learned to love my job, and I just made a promise to me. The first horse that I took to the track, I said, God, I don't know if I'm going to make it, but I promise you I'm going to give it my very best that I can to become a good jockey.
There's a reverence that people have when they're around you. I know I feel it. I feel like a little kid when I come around you. You're one of my idols growing up. There's a line of people waiting here today to get your signature on this special day as the San Antonio becomes the Laffit Pincay, this race named after you. What about the fans and their dedication and loyalty to you?
Well, my fans have been very loyal. You know, every time I come to the track, they see me and they say hello and they come and congratulate me and all that. I love my fans. I always have time for them, you know. I think it's very nice when you give your friends the time and to ask them their question and sign autograph and take a picture and all that, you know. I think we owe that to them.
Your birthday has always been very close to opening day of Santa Anita. In 3 days, you're going to turn 78 years old. 50 years from now, we'll be having a conversation about who's the greatest jockey of all time, and your name will always come up. How do you want to be remembered?
I wanted to be remembered as a really dedicated jockey, and I'm glad that I can be an example for a lot of young jockeys to become good, to give it the very best they can when they ride a horse, you know, and that's it. You know, I was very dedicated.
And you've done it. Congratulations on a race being named in your honor. It is an honor to always speak with you.
Thank you.
One of the greatest jockeys of all time, Laffit Pincay Jr., getting a race named in his honor today, and one of the greatest names in riding racehorses we will ever know.